Hey, folks.
Dr. Spooner.
Hey, good morning.
How are you
Am I ever
doing?
glad you came out.
I'm always glad to be here because it's always a new mystery, you know?
Dr. Ian Spooner joins members of the team on Lot 8 as they continue to investigate a man-made boulder feature.
So what'd you guys find?
So, we just moved these rocks. We didn't want to do anything under them until you were able to see what was underneath.
Sure.
And to me, it looks like we still have disturbed soil underneath them.
Yeah.
I find that strange.
After noticing that the several-ton boulder is surrounded by smaller, evenly spaced stones that are holding it in place,
You got a big void down there.
Yeah.
the archaeological team discovered a backfilled void beneath it.
Let's see what we can find.
A void where the team has recently inserted a snake camera and obtained images of a possible iron stake and what could be valuables.
Oh my God, it looks like there's a pearl.
Yeah.
Do we yet know all the techniques we could employ to figure out the age of this feature?
I think one of the key things here is get a sample of that soil underneath the rock. The core we get might give us a little bit of dating control.
Yeah.
It might also tell us if there's metal in the vicinity.
Yeah.
So there's some things we should probably look into.
I agree. Everybody's on the same page.
All right, I'll get this core. That'll take no time.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Great.
Using the soil core, I'm looking to date when that boulder was manipulated. We have hints on this island of activity and occupation pre-1600s, even older than that. This may be a part of that story. Okay, so we've got a bit of a core here. So we'll put this aside, but what I want to do is try this core as well and see what we get. If we could find elevated metals of interest, and that's gold, silver, lead, zinc, copper, tin, that might give us a clue as to why it's there, what's happened there.
Look how loose that is.
Yeah, it's quite loose. But we'll keep that. I can't really do anything with that here. I need to take it back to the lab, but I'm most interested in the very end of it.
Yeah.
2 days later,
Hello, morning.
Hey, guys.
Rick, Marty, and members of the team gather in the war room with Dr. Spooner, who has just completed preliminary testing for metal content in the soil samples that he collected beneath the large boulder.
We're hoping that you will enlighten us to the point where we can collectively make a decision about how to move forward.
I've taken a look at some of the sediment underneath the boulder, and then the samples we collected, we also analyzed in the lab very carefully to get a sense of what metals were in the organic matter and to try to get some idea as to if there's sort of maybe a human signature in that sediment, a signature of activity or something like that. What we saw was a very elevated lead, and this was very, very odd indeed. 12 parts per million is what we've seen elsewhere. We're seeing as high as 140 parts per million lead in that organic matter underneath the boulder.
How does it get there?
It would be moving through ash that was burning. If you're burning a lot of coal or wood, you might have an increase in lead.
Dating back to as early as ancient Greece, fire was actually used as a method for ventilating underground mining tunnels. Workers would set fires at the base of shafts to force smoke up and out, while drawing fresh air down and into the body of the mine.
Did you test the soils nearby just to see if it's a local phenomenon?
It certainly did, yeah. And we didn't see really high lead, maybe a tiny bit elevated. So that's intriguing. I just wouldn't expect it in the normal organic duff that you would see around the site. So I think it's an indication of local activity of some sort.
I don't know what to make of it, other than it certainly implies that there was some sort of activity underneath the boulder by humans. Is it explainable by perhaps an air shaft for a tunnel, and you would burn coal to draw warm air and thus create enough air for people to work underground? That covers all the bases. It It shows how lead could have accumulated. It suggests the possibility that this might lead to a tunnel, which may lead to something associated with work in the money pit.
It's time to see what's under that rock, I think. I want to pick that thing up.
Yeah, we're getting that feeling from you.
Okay. Yeah, well, if I'm being subtle, let me know, okay?
I think everyone is in agreement.
For sure. That leads me to, why don't you all guys get off sitting on your hands and get out there and do something, okay?
Okay.
Fair enough.
Later that afternoon,
Hey, Laird.
Hey, guys.
And archaeologists. Been any developments?
Yeah, well, the reason we called you down is Fiona's done a lot of excavation,
Yeah, I see that.
exposed a lot, but our next step now is to reinsert the camera underneath.
Oh,
We
good.
thought you may want to see that.
That sounds great.
do it.
Gather around down there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you can see we just finished clearing out this area, so now we have access to the back area kind of underneath the boulder, so that's what we thought it was worth another look.
Let's have a go.
So let's get that, make sure it's clean. Okay. One sec, I gotta go a little farther. Okay. Oh, well, look at that. I would say we're probably a good 2 feet underneath right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think you really need to see what I'm seeing under here.
Give me that.
I think you better. You guys hold that while I hold this in place.
I mean, it looks like a cave, okay? I mean, but I have no idea of scale.
We shouldn't be having voids underneath the
No,
rock
this
to this
is a
degree.
big. This is a big void. You gotta wonder if that void gets even bigger back there, don't you?
It's very clear that there are voids all over under there. It's like a matrix of voids. So it's consistent with something significant underneath there.
I think people went to a lot of work to try to deposit something that they valued and went to a lot of trouble to deposit it there and to protect it. I believe it will have an impact on trying to understand what happened here on the island.
Huh. Okay, this is not what I was expecting to see.
Whoa.
I want to just pull back. Okay, this is really, really weird. This, I am seeing like lumps of, looks like rock with golden yellowy colors in it that look like veins.
Holy smokes.
I swear, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is gold.
Give me that.
Yeah, you better look at that.
It's gold looking.
It certainly is. It even has the right luster.
Yeah.
Do you really think that's gold?
Well, yeah. I would say yeah. Well, it could be subsoil. My concern is that if usually you have to dig and move dirt to find subsoil.
Yeah.
We haven't touched anything under the rock.
Yeah.
If it was a soil, you'd think it'd be less defined.
Exactly, yeah.
If there was gold underneath there, this new thing that came out of the blue this year, this boulder on Lot 8, could be the most substantial thing that's ever happened here. And maybe we will get a very substantial clue as to where the treasure is and what happened here.
Anybody know why that would be under a boulder here?
Somebody wanted to hide it, perhaps.
I guess.
And if somebody thought that that was here, they probably would want to cover it up, and they never came back.
And you know what? That was one of my thoughts, and that could be the marker.
Yeah.
There might be, and hopefully there is, an artifact around this boulder or underneath it that can tell us a date or a who.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What's it gonna do to convince you people that we need to pick this thing up?
It's really up to the archaeologists. And if they're on board, then who am I to say no?
Yeah, we've gotten all the information we need from this area here that's giving us enough to make informed decisions.
I think we've reached the limit of what we can do. Now, I think it's time to transition to the logistics of moving it safely and properly. You don't have to make the argument anymore.
I'm extremely happy that the archaeologists have done their job properly. but it's now time to lift it. We have to do this safely, and that's going to take a big crane. This lifting of the Lot 8 boulder is a really close second place in terms of the most exciting things going on the island this year. And everybody is excited to see what's under that boulder.
Well, I'm keen to get it out of your way.
I'm with you now.
All right, good. Somebody get this rock out of the way.